Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
Washington Post World, November 21, 12:02 America, New York. Venezuela votes in regional election under international eye. Venezuela's electoral system will be put to the test as millions of voters across the South American country are expected to decide thousands of races in a highly scrutinized regional election. Washington Post World, November 21, 12:02 America, New York. Chileans vote in highly polarized presidential election. Chileans head to the polls to elect the country's next president following a polarizing campaign in which leading candidates vowed to chart a new direction in the region's most economically advanced country. New York Times World News, November 21, 7:04 America, New York. In hard times, Afghan farmers are turning to opium for security. The war's intense conclusion and a drought combined to wipe out the famous Afghan pomegranate harvest in Kandahar province, during a devastating national economic crisis. Farmers harvesting opium from poppies this month in Maiwand, Afghanistan. RT World News, November 21, 7:03 America, New York. Fighting for our lives. Humanity's weapons against COVID-19. As infections are rising again, scientists all around the world are rushing to fight the danger, offering a choice of new treatments and unusual variants of vaccines.
BBC News World, November 21, 7:02 America, New York. In case you missed it, snowboarding baby goes viral and motocross rider front flips off a cliff. Snowboarding baby, Wang Yuji, goes viral in China and other stories you may have missed this week.
Time, November 21, 7 o'clock America, New York. A top CEO was ousted after making his company more environmentally conscious. Now he's speaking out. To receive weekly emails of conversations with the world's top CEOs and business decision-makers, click here. The battle within Danone, producer of Activia and Oikos yogurts, Silk soy milk, and Evian water, among others, might have been dubbed a food fight, had it not erupted in such serious times.
Washington Post World, November 21, 7 o'clock America, New York. In Ukraine, a suspected torturer from the breakaway East was found hiding in plain sight. The arrest could bring new details about one of the most notorious detention sites in Ukraine's ongoing war. New York Times World News, November 21, 6:52 America, New York. Rolling deep. South Korean youth roam the city in hair curlers. The young South Korean women who wear them say they are not only functional, but also a sign of shifting ideas about beauty and a reflection of the country's generational divide. Hair rollers in public are not an uncommon sight on the streets of Seoul.
BBC News World, November 21, 6:49 America, New York. Jerusalem shooting, gunman kills 1 and wounds 3 in Old City. A member of the Hamas militant group opens fire in the Old City, and is shot dead by Israeli police.
November 21, 6 o'clock America, New York. Ann Arbor becomes first U.S. city to require free menstrual products in public restrooms. Ann Arbor, Michigan, will soon require menstrual products in public restrooms, as it sets to enact legislation national advocates say is a first.
Washington Post World, November 21, 6 o'clock America, New York. Canada's Parliament returns. Trudeau looks to address unfinished business as Conservatives squabble. The new session of Parliament opens more than 2 months after a federal election. Opposition lawmakers have complained this is unnecessary dilly-dallying.
November 21, 5:58 America, New York. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out as Manchester United manager after string of poor results. Manchester United have confirmed the departure of manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, one day after the club suffered a humiliating 4-1 Premier League defeat at Watford.
Washington Post World, November 21, 5:56 America, New York. Pope to young people. We need you to protect environment. Pope Francis has praised young people for their efforts to protect the Earth's environment. Washington Post World, November 21, 5:44 America, New York. Official. Israel to sign solar power deal with Jordan in UAE. Israel is set to sign a declaration of intent with neighboring Jordan on building a major solar power plant in the kingdom that will be used to generate electricity for Israel.
Wall Street Journal World News. November 21. 5:40 America New York, Afghanistan's opium business cranks up as the Taliban look the other way. With drought and international sanctions crippling the economy, farmers are planting more poppies and drug markets are open for business.
CNN.com World. November 21. 5:14 America New York, 1 dead, 4 injured, in shooting attack in Jerusalem, assailant also killed. A 35-year-old man has died after a shooting attack in Jerusalem's Old City, which Israeli officials say was a Hamas operation.
Washington Post World. November 21. 5:09 America New York. Official. Gunmen shoot dead 3 coal miners in SW Pakistan. Officials say gunmen have shot and killed 3 workers at a coal mine in southwestern Pakistan.
November 21. 5:02 America New York. Blustery winds and some snow. Here's your Thanksgiving week forecast. As millions of Americans gear up to travel this Thanksgiving holiday week, forecast models continue to show a temperature roller coaster and a potential, significant storm in the coming week.
New York Times World News. November 21. 5 o'clock America New York. How the U.S. lost ground to China in the contest for clean energy. Americans failed to safeguard decades of diplomatic and financial investments in Congo, where the world's largest supply of cobalt is controlled by Chinese companies backed by Beijing. New York Times World News. November 21. 4:20 America New York. Sudan's military agrees to reinstate civilian prime minister, mediator says. The deal to reinstate Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok, announced by a mediator, was reached hours before a planned new wave of protests against the October 25 coup. Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok of Sudan on October. Washington Post World. November 21. 4:10 America New York. 1 Israeli killed, 4 injured after Palestinian opens fire in Jerusalem's Old City. The assailant was a 42-year-old member of Hamas from East Jerusalem who regularly prayed at the Temple Mount, according to Israeli police.
November 21. 4:01 America New York. For black residents of Ahmaud Arbery's hometown, trust in the justice system is on trial right alongside his accused killers. Carrying signs that read, "Justice for Ahmaud," the demonstrators marched past majestic live oaks draped with Spanish moss. They chanted Ahmaud Arbery's name as they wound through the streets, past a hardware store, several homes, a convenience store.